And actually I had to point out to Norman that we're a partnership, and we're actually really well networked because we're a partnership. To bring that to life, someone said to me the other day, I need a salt mine expert, and within literally minutes we had found 3 salt mine experts. That's how well networked we are. But we got talking about, is there something we could do that's different? And building on some of the points that David was talking about, you know, what are we as an organisation? We're an organisation, what do we love doing? We love solving clients' problems. That's what we do. And what we do is we normally do that by business units. We do expand the teams across business units, but we generally go down business units. And there are quite a number of business units. But wouldn't it be absolutely fantastic if a client could ask us a question and not get the views of a team that has been engaged to deliver on that question? We've got the views of 17,000 individuals at PwC, and that was the challenge that we came up with. And it's more than just answering a question, it's about the culture. And that culture has been mentioned a couple of times today. It's about the culture of the organisation and using the culture of that organisation to the best effect. And something about, you know, all firms have different cultures. From a PwC perspective, where we were is that actually everybody wanted to contribute to solving problems. And they wanted to engage with colleagues and the clients. But they wanted to do it in a way that was really transparent. In other words, when they suggested ideas, they didn't get lost in the ether. They could see those ideas and how those ideas were being magnified, how they were being enhanced, so that we delivered the best solutions for the clients. And that's what we created. We created something called One, because it literally brings everyone together in a very transparent way. The technology is important, but as Simon and David have highlighted, that is not the driver. I can't bring it to life in this short presentation, but when you input an idea, you can see comments on that idea, so that the best ideas rise to the top. So from a client perspective, at the end of the campaign, they can see the ideas that have come through and the best ones that have risen to the top. Before I hand over to Norman, just 2 real points. When we were thinking about it, we thought, well, we'd better just pilot it. We piloted it with a company called Hire. They're a white goods manufacturer, but they're not that well known in the UK. And the question that we asked 17,000 people, actually it wasn't 17,000 at that stage, it was a pilot, was how could they become more prominent in the UK? And what came out of that pilot wasn't just that we were helping our client. What else came out of that pilot was the way that people in the firm who haven't engaged with other people before really want to engage. And for me, one of the best results of that pilot was that on other client queries, people were engaging where they hadn't engaged before as a result of having engaged on One.
We've used crowdsourcing, and the crowd is our people. And the object of the crowd is not just to drive innovation within PwC, but primarily focus on our clients. So we offer 17,000 people to our clients to solve issues that are keeping them up at night. And you know that has been particularly powerful because, as Dan said, I think that this is my first point. I would, if I'm going to draw any lessons that perhaps might be applicable elsewhere, it's that why this has been successful, I believe, is because PwC's culture, you know, as a professional services organisation, is focused around client problems. But what we did with One was that we gave people a platform that they've never had before. A level playing field where everybody, regardless of their grade, their location, their experience, their expertise, could participate in a challenge that we would set up with the client. We would formulate that question in a way that anybody in PwC, and I mean anybody in PwC, could have an opinion on and could therefore put an idea on the platform. And that has driven an enormous amount of engagement. The result has been a very engaged employee base and large number of ideas and very delighted clients, because you know a lot of our clients look at us and they say, well, what's a bunch of accountants going to tell me about my business that I don't already know? And we say to them, well, we guarantee you, I mean, you know, I normally stick my neck out more than Dan does. I say, I guarantee you that we will come up with ideas that you have never thought of. And so far, that has been absolutely the case, because we are coming at it from a different perspective. The second point I would really want to stress in terms of the lessons to be learned here is that, of course, the technology is important. You need collaboration platforms. You need platforms, the one that we use, for example, at its very heart is there's a gaming mechanic that helps to drive that kind of participation and engagement. But the fundamental point about it is that the technology is actually secondary to what I would say the culture, the way that the campaigns are formulated, the process around which you communicate those, and most importantly, that the people engaged in that are themselves clear about what the rules of the game are, what's expected of them, and fundamentally how they will be recognized and rewarded. And I think that's very important. That has to be part of the culture that you have inside that organization. I would stress this point about culture, because it is all about that. And to speak to the point that was made at the beginning, this has to be something that is not, this is a process, as we all know, about crowdsourcing and social inside the enterprise. It's all about bottoms up, which is the real challenge to the existing kind of hierarchical approach most enterprises are based upon. But the fundamental point here is that you have to give people the ability and the freedom to do what they want to do in a way that is driven by specific outcomes. There has to be an endorsement of this from the top. It has to be something that is not going to be blocked by middle management or by anybody else who's afraid of it's technology, it's social media, that's for young people. That kind of, you assume a lot of people have that kind of attitude. It is something that you have to take people on a journey and they can see that the outcomes are going to be of value to your clients. So the fact that what we did in PwC, and I think is quite uniquely, we actually got our partners and our leadership to buy into this in a very big way, because they really saw the power of this fundamentally to being driven by the requirements of our business, which is satisfy the client, come up with new propositions for the client. It's all about the client. So it's about the business case, not about the technology. It's not about social media. It's about what are you driving, what are the outcomes. And so the outcomes we have, and I don't think this is an exaggeration, is that we have delighted clients and we have very engaged people. And I think it's kind of the best of all worlds, because we are engaging with our people in a way and recognizing new talent that is coming as a result of this. New people, recognizing people and rewarding them in ways that is really enhancing the kind of core values of what we stand for. And so from that point of view, it has really reinforced a lot of, it's amplified what we stand for. And I think that's what you really have to be thinking about. If you want to successfully use this technology in a way that is transformative, you have to tick those boxes. It's not about using the technology because the technology is there. It's about what's going to drive your business. Thank you.
For more information, visit our website, firsttuesday.org.uk. Don't network, be the network.